Okay, so I wanted to do a follow-up to the video that I made on installing an LED load resistor when you install a spoiler on a 1992 Acura Legend. And one of the suggestions that was made was to come up with a plug-and-play option so that you can revert back to the existing setup if needed. And so what I've decided to do is I went to the junkyard and I got one of these connectors here with the male and female end. So I'm going to show how to put those together so you can have more of a plug-and-play setup in your car. Okay, I've stripped the sheathing off the wires at each end here. And then I'll just detach the connector pieces here, male and female, from each other. And the next thing I'm going to do is just twist the resistor wire and one of the black wires together. And for this, to connect everything up, I'm going to be using a soldering iron, but you can use, conductive wire glue or something else like that. I prefer solder, and really soldering is not very hard. It's a skill that anyone can learn with a little bit of practice. One other thing I wanted to point out is that I have about 4 to 6 inches worth of wire here. You can cut it short if you like, but I prefer to have it longer myself. And then you can just zip tie it out of the way if you need to. Okay, so the black wire from the connector and the red wire from the resistor are attached, and then I've taken the second portion of the connector and I've put a piece of heat shrink tubing on here, slid that down all the way up to the connector, and put some black tape around here to hold it on. And the next thing I'm going to do is just twist these together and then solder everything up. What I'm going to do now is just go ahead and solder these wires together. So I'll tend my soldering iron first. Place that up against there. And I like to touch between the iron and the wire real quick just to kind of get the solder started. Okay, so that's all finished. Okay, so I've slid the heat shrink tubing back down over the joint. The next thing I'll do is just go ahead and use the heat gun here on a low setting to shrink the tubing. So this set of wires is done, and I'll just repeat the process on the other set of wires. Okay, so here's the finished product. All the wires are connected, as you can see there. And I would still recommend screwing this resistor to the bottom of the metal shelf in the trunk. Thanks for watching.